This is day 2. I'm here with Drexel Johnson. Why are we out here phase 2?
Well, we out here for day 2 to let them know we're not going away until they do what they're supposed to do legally by law. That's why we're here today. We've had some conversation with them, and as of yet, none of our people are working. None of our people are under contract, so we just think it's time to stay at where we're at right now. And I think that they feel, for as long as we picket without technically, officially reopening our HUD complaint of Section 3 violations, they're not going to budge. So we're going to go ahead and reopen that. We're going to reopen that complaint today, officially.
What's on the line as far as the survival and the prosperity of black contractors, black laborers, and skilled workers?
Well, what's on the line right now is they don't have any involved, and we're a dying breed, man. We're a dying breed, and we're falling by the wayside. It's not to the epidemic standpoint. It's a pandemic situation, whereas we're almost non-existent, and our people are acting as if it's no big deal. I'm shocked by it because this is what I grew up in, and it's what I believe in. And I don't know what we have to do to let people know that black people got to eat too. You know, we were the forefront runners of making equality right for everybody else, and it seems like after we did all of the we shall overcome stuff and parading and running around, picketing, being shot at, threat of castration and all of that, high pressure water holes, all the other races just walked right over us. And not only other races, our own race walked over us. There are too many fragmented divisions in our race for us to say one race of people can stand together. The hierarchy Negroes don't want to have anything to do with us. You know, it's kind of like the house Negro and the field Negro, or the barn Negro, of which I'm from Mississippi, I know all too well. The Magic Johnsons, the Lee Daniels, the Tyler Perrys, the Oprah Winfreys, they don't want to address the issues that we're addressing. This is uncomfortable for them. But now, that was the same situation with the house Negro and the field Negro. The runaway slave could not tell the person inside the house because he was going to tell master, because he didn't want to chance what they were chancing. He didn't feel that he had to. It was too good for him where he was, so he didn't want to go through all that rigmarole and take a chance of losing your foot, getting your ass beat to death, or what have you. It ain't no different right now, and I have no disregard or hatred in my heart for either one of them, but the facts are what they are. If the head Negroes would stand up for us, we wouldn't have this problem. You see Donald Trump, our president, he met with Jim Brown, he met with Steve Harvey, he met with a bunch of hierarchy Negroes. Those Negroes are Negroes just like us, but they don't speak for us. The trickle-down effect don't happen for us with them. And it's just a situation where we're out here on our own.
Well, we're at 7th and Wall, downtown Los Angeles, and the backdrop for this project is just groups of homeless people, primarily black males. What impact would employment opportunities on this particular project have on that segment of our population?
As we've all too often said, 80% of the homeless out here on Skid Row are black people. So if we could get an opportunity to put some of our people to work, it would really take us off the streets. It would take them off the street. And with the dollars that are coming down from HUD, coming down through HACLA, Housing Authority, City of Los Angeles, for Skid Row Housing Trust to not be sensitive to the legislation that's within the contracts and follow through is really, really, really a disgrace to black people.
So this project in particular, this is a HACLA project, a HUD project?
Yes.
So these are taxpayers' dollars being used.
These are federal taxpayer dollars being used.
With the exception of the black skilled labor, black contractor population.
With the direct exception of that, whereas most of the guidelines, provisions, and requirements and mandates were put in place to enhance the use of black folk or minority folk or small businesses. And we don't have that luxury because no one fights for it. No one fights for it and everybody ignores it. As I said before, our hierarchy Negroes, much like our black preachers, our black politicians, they're comfortable with what goes on because this doesn't negatively affect them. if it negatively affected them, they would feel the same pain that we feel. But again, there's a lot of dollars out here from HUD. Hackler has a lot of dollars that they're spending right now. Skid Row Housing Trust are in control of a lot of dollars to be spent to build, but black people are not included. We're going to picket every day until we're brought into the equation. As I say all too often, if you're not at the meeting, you're on the table menu. You're on the menu. You're going to be eaten. And that's what's been happening to us. That's why we're slowly but surely dissipating as a race in this industry.
The construction industry is booming right now. Who do we need to get additional support from? What type of voices would lend momentum to this particular objective of getting black people employed and the wraparound services that go with a major construction project like this?
Well, I personally invited Assistant Deputy of HUD Secretary David Byrd. I invited him yesterday to either meet with us in D.C. or come to our national headquarters in San Diego to meet with us to discuss our directives with respect to being involved. If we could help put the template together for these jobs to go in our direction or everybody's direction, because everybody's working but us. If we could help put the template together, we could make it work. We've shown different community leaders, different politicians, whereas if we're involved on a real level, we can stop so much crime in our community and homelessness. But they won't sit down and do the right thing. So again, we have to take it to the point of filing a complaint. We've done it before and we'll do it again. We didn't want it to come to that because it's a grueling process on everybody. But right now, if that's what we have to do, that's what we're going to do.
You've been a part of a movement to institute an apprenticeship program into the overall format of getting black people ready to work. Where is that at right now in the progression of things?
The unilateral apprenticeship program, especially with the Watts area, we had a meeting yesterday. That apprenticeship program is almost fully complete. It's in San Diego. It's the only program authored and founded by an African American. So we really want to put that in place, and I think we're not far away from getting that going. We want the president to meet with us. President Trump needs to meet with us because everybody says we're crazy. Everybody says we're doing the wrong thing, and they say the same thing about him. The bottom line is, meet with us, President Trump. Meet with us, Secretary Ben Carson. When you look at the fact that there's one gentleman in this city that knows we can perform when given a fair opportunity, Joe Chow over at Southern California Gas. He gave us that chance, and we stood out with the gas company, whereas people at his same position, before he took the position, ran us down. We ran over to Secretary Rick Perry's office. We kind of roughed him up a little bit, but we wrote him a nice letter, and I guess the sister there by the name of Kelly Mitchell gave us a chance to come to D.C. and meet. We want that same thing with housing. We want the same thing with labor, and we can make a lot of things happen because what Ms. Mitchell did, we had never seen that done before. And we had reached out to the Obama administration for 8 years and nothing happened. Absolutely, positively nothing. Did nothing change for us to get better but the calendar date and time? Whereas we're going to run on change, but did nothing change for the better.
So, as I look at this project and the surrounding area, the face of downtown Los Angeles is changing right before our very eyes. What is the long-term effect of what you're doing today as it relates to the black population of Los Angeles?
Again, it takes homelessness off the street. It starts apprenticeship programs for young apprentices to get in the journey out. It gives people a chance in a trade that we pretty much founded years ago and participated in for almost free. Now that we've gotten the PLAs and the PSAs and the various unions involved with the construction councils, we want to be a positive part of what's going on right now because we had these jobs 30 years ago. And it ain't no doubt in my mind, President Trump, if you give us a chance to sit down, we can show you how ineffective the state of California has been as it relates to black people. That's what you say all the time. We had it the hardest, and we're having it the hardest. But people call you a liar. They call me a liar. I'm a living witness to say you're telling the truth. But you should give me a chance to see what you did Jim Brown and some of these other Negroes that claim they're looking out for black people. I don't dislike Jim. I don't know Jim. But give us a chance to sit down to talk about some of the issues that we are hurted by. Not the wrong Negro. Bring the right Negroes to the White House, and maybe you can win another election.
How important is it to focus on infrastructure, redevelopment, new construction projects as it relates to the American economy going forward?
It's very important, Bob, because on the books right now, there's enough work in California on the books for the next 15 years. I don't think it'll ever be that much again, at least in our lifetime. The bottom line is California is booming more so than any other state in construction. Why aren't black people working? Why are we having to do this right here? This is ridiculous.
If somebody wanted to help this initiative, how do they get in touch with you, or what could they do as an individual to draw attention to the need to employ black people on public works contracts?
Well, it all depends upon how much power they have. Technically, I've allowed and asked other people to carry my water and tell my story. No one can tell my story the way I can tell it. So if anyone wants to help us get in front of President Trump. If anyone want to help us get in front of Roseanne Barr. If anyone want to help us get in front of Monique. Because they know I'm telling the truth. Because I know they told the truth.
Now what about just the everyday citizen?
Everyday citizens, 323-385-0639. That's the golden number to help us.
One more time.
323-385-0639. You can look us up on the internet. We're there. YBCA.info@yahoo.com. We don't discriminate. We help everybody. We just want some help ourselves right now.
Anything else before we wrap up?
Well, I like the mayor of Los Angeles. I've seen him do some positive things.
That's Gil Garcetti, right?
Not Gil Garcetti.
Eric
Garcetti.
Okay.
I like the mayor. I think he's done some good things. I think he's put some money in some areas that's really been needed, but black folk are still not getting their just due. I think what needs to happen is he can sit down with us first. Maybe he don't like President Trump. I'm going to President Trump. I want to go to President Trump. President Trump, if you give us a chance to sit down, I'll bring in our national president, Brother Hamid. I'll bring Brother Bobby in, Brother Daoud. I think we're the people that can show you what we're saying is true. And we are catching hell, man. And this